from my elections account. So that went to everyone in the university. So everyone does have all of the applications. That being said, I want to be very clear that I'm speaking about senator applications for candidacy right now. This doesn't apply to the CRCs as of right now. Your emergency legislation may change that in the future somehow, but I'm sure we will work out some caveats to that. That being said, I am just speaking to college councils as of right now. I just want to be very clear in the fact that those elected during the election take priority over those who have been appointed by their college councils. So I urge you all that if you want to be on a college council next year, that you do run just to ensure that you do have a seat. So if you guys have any questions, I'll field them now. Seeing none, you guys are more than welcome to email me. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you. With that, we'll move into legislative reports, beginning with officers. I had a few things that I would say, but I think seeing the legislation on the agenda, I will hold off on those until next week, especially when we have some more people in the Senate, so we can, Madeline, Parliamentarian Canberra, excuse me.
I do have a few things. Okay, we have I put off reporting the last couple of weeks because we've had heavier, more pertinent things. So I would like to get some housekeeping done really quickly, and then I'll make the same announcement in our next session too, so that if there's people who weren't here that didn't get all of this, that they will. First, I want to show y'all this lovely checkout clipboard for the bill book. It was missing for a while and therefore made some legislation inaccessible. And then it was returned, but very sneakily put back in the cabinet, so we didn't know that we got the book back. So this will just live inside the cover. If you take it out of the office, please just sign it out. Leave the clipboard, and when you bring it back, put the clipboard back. That way we can make sure that we're doing our due diligence. I also understand that there are aspects of my job that might not be very visible, and I want to let all of you know that I believe in transparency and accountability. That's why I touched on that when I ran for this position. And so I have recently just put up on front of our office 2 QR codes. One is to set up a meeting. If you have questions about what's going on or the status of a project or anything, as much as my tone is aggressive sometimes, I promise I don't fight. I would rather have a conversation. Also, I have created a feedback form that you can submit feedback to me personally in whatever capacity. That can be completely anonymous. You can, of course, put your information on there so that there can be a continued dialogue, but it feels like there has been like some kind of breakdown in communication, and I feel like maybe I did not do enough to make sure that I am making myself as available and communicative to all of you as possible. We also have a new and streamlined process for committee edits. I put that out in legislative cabinet. It doesn't really apply to everybody, but I just want to let you know that that is a resource available. We had some confusion about our process of getting edits to committee. If you see that there were edits that were made that were not reflected in past legislation, please bring that to my attention so that I can fix that. And then actually not last but not least, this next week, I will be putting together the new version of the legislative template. We need to add our accountant. We updated a couple things already, but I'm looking to put at least one contact from every college council and to make sure that all the CRC contacts are updated. So I really urge college councils, please send me the contact name for who would be the person to send legislation to for your college council. I want to get that rolling. I've been kind of waiting on that for a while, and I announced it, and we really just need to get that updated, and I ask for your cooperation in that. The last thing is heavy, and it's been a few weeks. Whoa. It's been a few weeks now since I became aware, and I'll be frankly transparent, a part of the ASCSU anonymous Yik Yak chat. And before it was even shut down, it was getting out of hand, and I reached out to the Conflict Resolution Center to work with them to figure out what we could do as a whole as a space, if there was resources that were needed for individuals one-on-one to work things out. Since then, it took a while to get that first consultation scheduled. They will be coming to do a conflict resolution training. It'll be a guest speaker spot the week we get back after spring break. We have a space that is naturally somewhat contentious because it's political in nature. And, hindsight is 2020, and maybe we could have used this sooner to navigate these sort of things. So if you are interested in that, there's two contacts, and I'll put the information in the teams that work with our ASCSU stuff, Luisa Kleiber and Kaylee Melendez. Your first step would be to reach out to them to schedule a consultation for what your unique needs are, and if enough people reach out to have some sort of group thing, and they have a couple different models for what that can look like, that can be a resource that we can utilize. So I'm really sorry that this has not come out sooner, because it's been, like I said, in the making for several weeks now, and we have important work to do, and our students come first. So when we have conflict, we really have to figure out the best way to resolve and get back to the work. So I think that's all that I have for yeah. Thank you so much.
Howdy, y'all. One of the main things I did this week was rediscover what Excel is capable of. Let me explain. Basically, now when I get a letter in my sheet, it turns a funny color automatically, rather than me having to directly edit cells, which is really cool. But on that note, a lot of them were more red than usual. Not good. Please go to committee. I'm seeing an influx in more strikes needing to be given out. I don't like that. That's not fun. Tell your friends. Thank you.
Moving on to committee and caucus reports. Chairman McLaughlin.
Official announcement, budgetary will now meet from 2 to 3 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Thank you. Chair Forsky.
We have the Social Justice Library is going to have a book drive again this month. I'm getting the boxes Friday/Monday. So please, if you have, actually it's not going to be Monday, Tuesday. So spread the word. Also, to circle back to the NICI Act, I'm just going to say it is dead. I may or may not have reported it, so it is gone. So nope, I also am going to smooth that over if anybody is getting worried or anxious about that. It's dead. Please come to my caucus. Yay. I hope that.
Thank you. Chair Davis.
I'm gonna get brief. Thanks for everyone who came last week. Like, that was great. Do it again. I'll probably bring a big spread on Monday. So there's another incentive. That's it. 11 to 12.
And Chair Watts.
I'm gonna skip over stuff. The only thing I want to say is that Constitution Subcommittee has official meeting times Mondays 10 to 11 and Thursdays 4 to 5. I did twice a week to try to catch as many people as I can. They will officially start next week. And there's a new Teams channel. I don't know. In the ASCSU one, there's a Teams Constitution Subcommittee. So please message me if you have any questions or anything you want to see how you do.
Thank you. Moving now to Senator and Associate Senator reports. Seeing none, we can move into conference business with 2 hours on the conference clock, beginning with Resolution 5407.
Give me just a second here. I want to get a timer on the screen.
All right, we have Resolution 5407 asking Colorado State University administrators for more accountability and transparency. We ask Colorado State University administration and leadership to provide additional transparency in their decision-making in response to incidents that occurred in the CSU community during the fall 2024 semester. We additionally ask CSU administration to take more accountability by providing more tangible and actionable means of improving support on campus and addressing the student body during times of distress.
Did committees make edits to that?
I believe I don't have the notes pulled up because that's like several weeks of notes for all of this. So I'm going to try and remember it all. But we endorsed, and I think we made a few minor edits, but nothing substantial.
Chair Miller?
Back in the day, and this was in university years. I did edit it like a lot for grammar. Otherwise, I think there were some minor like, clarification edits that were made. And that's all I remember because, like I said, back in the day.
Chair Whiskey, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I was at the DEI committee meeting for this. And since the chair and the vice chair are not here today, there was several edits made, but they were minor and more just like grammar. And I believe Senator Benanti was in the room for it. So I
Thank you. And Chairman Faulkner?
I don't believe this is the version that budgetary edited.
So there's a slight note that when I went to consolidate all the pieces of legislation for this week, I didn't have the track changes on. And the last one here, the capitalization edits, you'll see that I put a note here that the capitalization of all the names and stuff will be reflected in the final edit.
Okay, cool. We didn't make substantial edits either, so all good. I yield.
Thank you. And does the author accept these edits?
You know I do.
With that, we can begin 10 minutes of discussion and debate on this legislation.
Point of information, really fast. So sorry. If you scroll back up to the endorsement list or the Senate list, I'm so sorry. Scroll down. It's A. Alonso, if you Dean at Warner College.
Okay, what?
After Justin Dove, there's period Alonso Aguirre. It's A. period Alonso Aguirre. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Gotta represent Warner.
Thank you. Chairman Faulkner, yes, thank you. Go ahead.
I move to previous question.
Does that motion have any dissent?
I just have a question. I think this can be done in the parliamentarian purview, but the title of the bill, like at the very, very top, is not capitalized like at all. Can that be an edit that we can fix?
One you can have.
Author's right, I approve that edit.
Actually,
Do you trust me to do grammar and capitalization?
I trust a lot of people over myself to do grammar and capitalization. You know my full go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had a motion to approve this question. Does that have any dissent? Seeing none, we can move into voting on this legislation.
Motion to approve with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this is passed with unanimous consent.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move into Bill 54, Round
Okay, where we are. Here we go.
Just for clarification, it had been 5408. It had been written down that way for a while. I just want to make it really clear that it is 5409. So, Bill 5409 increased funding to the Rams Against Hunger pocket pantries. This bill seeks to continue ASCSU's legacy of supporting the Rams Against Hunger pocket pantry program, allocating $54,000 from the ASCSU General Discretionary Fund to the Rams Against Hunger Pocket Pantry Fund, bringing the total budget from the previous $12,000 to now $18,000 for each academic year. During the next 3-year cycle, $9,000 per semester, $18,000 per year, $54,000 per 3-year cycle beginning June 2025.
Did committees make edits to this legislation? Chairman Kaufman?
We edited this to specify that it's going to the pocket pantry program and not the general food pantry program.
Is that all? And just go ahead.
So as all of you guys know, this bill is like, it's been like a little bit of a scary thing because it was going to eat away at a lot of Senate's fund. But I want to make it 100% clear that we are changing this bill. It's not going to be asking for 3 years worth of money anymore. It's just going to be for 1 year, and so that's going to bring it down from 54,000 to 18,000. And so I know that was like a huge like worry, was like our bill was eating away at so much of this shared fund. And honestly, like frankly, like we should have made that edit sooner. But yeah, just so you know, it's not 54K anymore, it's 18K. And so if we could reflect that.
Okay, I think it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, it should be like the I have this too if you want.
Oh, okay, yes.
And then there was also it was like the first there.
Well, we'll have to change the abstract too, but I'll do that first. Okay. Do you think maybe it could be, yeah, well, or yes, or maybe a small recess to do this? Will you send that to me first, and then we can.
Do you want me to ask for the motion to do this?
I mean, this will take a few minutes. This will take a little bit of time.
Chairman Kaufman?
I'll motion for a 4-minute recess.
Does that motion have a second?
Second.
Do I see any dissent to that? Okay, seeing none, we'll take a 4-minute recess.
Okay.
George will be here in 4 minutes.
I just have a quick question. I know like a couple weeks ago, we talked about how it was going to be separate. Did you guys just decide which one?
So it's just coming out but yeah, just 1 minute. Yeah. Thank you. Hey.
I mean, wouldn't we have to basically still make a new one? Fundamental change.
We definitely had like in conversation. And he was like, yeah, honestly, like it's an outdated way of doing things. Like we should be doing it every year instead of every 3 years because it's too many like conflicts.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I feel so bad, like, so much money from just 1 year. Like, it's just set up badly.
Yeah, it is. But I think the issue though is that it safeguards it largely from like the swings and woes of a frolical and frivolous body. of
It
people.
does, but that's just something that boils down to.
Oh, that's it,
Okay,
I like it. If you're in a campaign though, I'm working with Michael on a whole other thing.
Aren't you
No, it's a full logistical overhaul of that. Yes, I'm good.
We're fixing it. We're making the edits.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna ask you that. You can
I'm glad to be
see
free.
the
Finally. I don't have to come back here.
Yeah.
not
You
tonight.
can go home and just like
I
chill.
should be getting all the legislation.
At a reasonable
I
time.
do
Oh
some
my
news
lord!
capacity. Oh no, wait a minute. You do
Oh,
some
sweet baby Jesus!
Yeah, you're
You
on
get to
that
sleep at a reasonable time. Why don't I get that? Huh?
Okay. You'll
And
send
then-
that out
Yes,
after
take
this?
that.
Yes.
Okay. When will you
I
send
think it's
that?
actually
tomorrow morning.
My manager
I'll
just
print
said
out a finalized
I was
copy
like,
for everyone.
"Sir, can I see
Bring
that
it
original?"
into the office
No,
on
you
Friday,
need to do
he'll sign it, and then
Excel till
finalize
4
the
in the
copy.
morning.
Perfect. Cool.
I'm like, no,
Cool.
please.
Thanks.
Please, sir, may I have some
Okay.
bread? No. Excel.
Why can I see
Oh, here comes the man.
Yes.
That is, you have the ones, Georgia.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
perfect.
I talked with her about a few things, just to clarify the language. But I think this is fine.
It was, oh yeah, because we had talked about, how it was like, clarifying that it was the Senate,
Discretionary, yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and then we'll, that edit, after we change.
No, this looks perfect.
Yeah,
I just
thank
wanted to
you.
double check.
Oh, thank you so much.
I hate this fucking computer. Just so everybody knows. Because I can't open documents. I have to open them in my own browser. Yeah, it's kind of one of the things that I picked up. And then you just sent me, I'll upload the downloaded one that I just downloaded 3 times. There we go. It also, unlike Google Docs, it doesn't show it to me in order. Without putting a search in, it doesn't show me the things that I put in the order. Okay, so now I should be able to do this pretty easily. This version doesn't do the thing that I like, where it'll fill the screen. Oh my god, no, that's not learning. Can I just open it? It still downloaded it. What the fuck? I can't fucking open it.
What the heck?
I won't open in the browser. It's like forcing me to download it every time.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Okay, there we go. Well, maybe. I'll just open it on my laptop if I have to do that. Fucking hooray.
Wait, so it's gonna come up this year?
Yeah, it happens every year.
If we can't do this in the next 5 minutes or so, would it be not a bad idea to move it to the end? Okay. Well, for this one too. Why is this not okay? I really just need to happen on the computer because I never really see this. Okay, it's open here. So then, why did it won't let me do cameras? What the fuck? This is the one I already had open. What the fuck? Do you see that? Am I crazy?
No, what if I sent it to you like through Gmail or something?
I have to see it for the edit to be visible. Otherwise, I could just like look through. Oh, it does show up. Okay, hold up. That's not right. Got it in there. I can do it here. Okay, now it just won't do it at all. Okay. I'm gonna fucking scream. I thought we were gonna.
I think that's exactly.
Should open in the browser. Open in browser. I clicked open in browser.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what we're supposed to do because I really can't open it.
Depends on the person. Like I might even
It's not you. It's this fucking
Yeah.
so
No, and I think it doesn't. Oh, I think that was.
Actually, you know what? Can I just if I can get this open?
No, I
Did it open? Okay, yes, we're good. We're good. I don't know why.
very bold, yeah. What if I like imagine it, right? Sure. Right, like
We're in a recess right now.
Okay.
Do you want to just read the next bill and then move on?
I just finally got it open.
Oh,
So just give me a minute. That's what I was saying is if we can't get it working in the next 5 minutes.
okay.
But
We'll do the edits. We'll take a second.
not that bad, but I do need to do it. So if you would let me.
Yeah,
I'm so
my
sorry.
maybe. I don't know.
Okay. 54
I can't say any more of that because I'm working coded, yeah, I don't know what's going on exactly because we don't get we get told to line what the charge is on, but I don't know the application. And that's Tuesday. It's gonna be great. This guy's gonna have a television. You can't drink when you're sober, buddy. Oh, Luke, you can't do that.
Showing for the schematic. Well, they like
You guys terrified you're walking in class.
they have to like I hate
Oh, I didn't know. There's a half-hour recording of me doing this I was part of that voices thing there. How's it going? Yeah, I was there. And forever. My 19-year-old son is just about coaching course. Like, yeah, we didn't have much.
what was the term they used for me? I was
I knew my girl.
No, we didn't.
literally like
We didn't hold beeronomics this week.
economics and a couple passion projects that I really like.
I don't understand it because he can't buy beer.
I had put ASCSU
Can I
Senate.
ask y'all to just like maybe possibly move your conversation?
Just like
I love y'all and I appreciate you.
You can't buy. I can't go to the place that
like it has to be the first edit.
Well, I mean, it's already, we're almost done and it's already past.
I'll
It's
just say
been,
I personally just so like everyone's clear. Okay,
I appreciate that.
and then you'll just go like, okay,
Okay, I think we're good. Do y'all want me? So this is good. We've got the edits now, but then to make this abstract, we can just honestly, if we just cut this, then I think it's accurate. If you guys are okay with that.
Great week. Great week.
Okay, I think. Okay, so this was taken out. This was taken out. This was added. This was added. This was added.
Okay, so you have to
I think that's everything.
Take it and you just close it back. And then you put the sides in.
so do I do that first year? When we exit recess. Okay. Because we're just gonna do one. Yeah. Yeah. Can you
Yeah, sure. Okay, and then that's good.
So make this nice
for the upcoming academic general discretionary that was the one that
Got it. Okay.
so we can
Okay. I try my best, man. That's all.
I learned how to flip that.
Good to go.
Howdy folks, we'll come back now into this bill.
Okay, we have now changed the abstract, so I will reread it. This bill seeks to continue ASCSU's legacy of supporting the Rams Against Hunger Pocket Pantry program, allocating $18,000 from the ASCSU General Discretionary Fund, noted, to the Rams Against Hunger Pocket Pantry Fund, bringing the total budget from the previous $12,000 to now $18,000 for the upcoming academic year, 2025-2026.
Okay, so just to really cement it into everyone's brains, this bill is only asking for 18K and it's only gonna apply to 1 year, the upcoming year. Again, it's not 3 years and it's not 54K. Just keep in mind for when you're voting.
Yeah, and just to be transparent about like where this decision is coming from, is we know that there's a lot of other bills that are coming through with fiscal notes, and we want to ensure that we're collaborating for funding rather than competing for it. And so this is kind of like our negotiation for that. So Deanna has made the amazing commitment, 'cause she's awesome, to present the bill to you all next year and a year afterwards, so that we can continue to secure the same amount of funding. Yes, and then should I do the floor edit right now? Okay, and then we have one more floor edit that we wanted to make. I don't know if it needs to be reflected in the abstract too. Yes, okay, so instead of the ASCSU general discretionary fund, we need that to reflect ASCSU Senate discretionary fund. And there's also in the first therefore clause, I think, there's a reference to the general discretionary fund that also needs to be changed to the Senate.
Do you want to talk? Do we need to talk about the edits?
What?
Do you want me to read out the edits?
Did you take out general too? So it's Senate discretionary?
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm. I think that's, do we want to go over the, do we read the edits? Sure. Okay.
Okay, so we will just really quick go over the edits. I just reread the abstract, so we'll move forward from there. The reflection of ASCSU Senate discretionary. So with this first therefore clause now reads, therefore, be it hereby enacted that the 54th ASCSU Senate allocates $18,000 per year from the ASCSU Senate discretionary fund towards the Rams Against Hunger Pocket Pantries program for the 2025-26 fiscal year beginning in June 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. Then the next therefore clause was removed. The following therefore clause now reads, therefore be it hereby enacted. I'm just gonna, okay. That any remaining money allocated through this bill in the ASCSU fund balance be returned to the fund balance as a whole. The remaining money will be returned by the end of the 2025-26 fiscal year, and therefore be it hereby enacted. At the beginning of the 2026-2027 academic year, the ASCSU Director of Basic Needs, in collaboration with the Senator, shall present this bill to renew funding for the Rams Against Hunger Pocket Pantries program for the following fiscal year. And I believe those are all the edits we just made on the floor this evening.
It's can you scroll up?
Sorry, I'm just
Sorry. Can you change the per year? Because that would imply like that it, you know what I mean? If you could just make it allocate 13K
this year.
for per year
2025-2026 fiscal year.
So sorry, I'd like to motion for like 5 minutes of Q&A after this is read, just for like, because it's been so long. With unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll hold 5 minutes of Q&A following this edit.
Okay, was there anything else?
Okay, I think that concludes floor edits.
A point of information, you can just say 2026 fiscal year. That will be June 30th, 2026.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll begin 5 minutes of Q&A. Chair Forsky.
Point of information, how much do we have currently in the budget
at our discretion, to our knowledge.
I believe we have $61,554.
Beautiful, thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you. Chair Davis.
I was just a little bit confused about the therefore clause that was added, so the one in blue. Just because I know that like technically we're not supposed to like tell anyone else what to do later, so is that something that's gonna be added to the job description? Like that's the reason like why we couldn't do $54,000 over 3 years because we can't tell them. Is that gonna be added? Yeah.
Do you want to say that?
The way I see it, it's more like a recommendation. It's with the interest of this bill, it's recommending that the Senate do this, but it's not telling them that they have to fulfill anything.
And just to add a little bit of context, we looked at some language that past bills have used, and we used that exact language. So we were primarily looking at I don't know exactly what it was called, but it was alternative transportation that required funding over multiple years. And the first time it was presented like our bill. And then the next time it was presented, it was asking in chunks and then had the same therefore clause, just under a different position in executive cabinet. If that's helpful.
No, that's sick, thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay, seeing none, we will move into 10 minutes of discussion and debate. Senator Miller.
8-5, motion for previous question.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll move into voting on this bill. Chair Whiskey.
I motion to approve this bill with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this bill is passed by unanimous consent. With that, we can move into Lex 5415.
Thank you. Thanks for
Or after this one.
Okay. Point of maybe this is personal privilege. Can this or the previous bill be sent to Farashaw?
Yes, so even though it is not, like I mentioned in the report, that it's not yet included, Farashaw is getting circled in on every email regarding legislation and has been since we got the EMS bill. Actually, no, prior to that. But for a while now. Default setting. So that'll be reflected in the new template.
Okay. You need 12. Why is this not coming up? Oh, different. There we go.
Okay. Lex 5415, removing old language and an inconsistency with associate senator limitations. This Lex will ensure that more students are represented within ASCSU, as well as making some word changes to the Constitution.
Yes. Let me really quickly make sure we're sharing the screen here because I just realized we weren't before. Okay, sorry, where are you?
Just a little bit. Can you make sure I still see it spelled right? Thank you. That's my
Oh shit, you didn't try for changes either. There we go. Cool.
Thank you.
And did committees make edits to this?
Yes, and I don't think this is the version we made edits to. So, yeah.
find your edits?
It should just be on the 54 Senate teams.
Oh,
These are edits that were made this Tuesday.
Correct.
That is why they're not on the floor, but do we want them to be read in full?
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so we're gonna consolidate again on the floor. So give me a second.
Can I motion to have that go to the next one and then just like come back if they're, or is this gonna be like a repeated thing for all of them? Cause I'm wondering if we can get through the ones that we don't need to make significant changes to and then like take a massive break and then get to those. I don't know if that would be a better use for time.
That is your call. I'm gonna try to do what I need to do while y'all figure it out.
Do you know which of the legislation that was sent out does not have the edits of your committee?
Nothing besides 5415.
So this is the only one?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So maybe like move this one to the end and then come back to it. Possibly? Can I make that as a motion?
Okay, we have a motion to move Lex 5415 to the end of old business, and that had a second. Okay, we'll do this by voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, this bill will be moved to the end of old business. So we can move into Lex 5416.
It would have taken longer. It was gonna take longer to do that. But it just Hmm. Was earlier. Wow.
This one has second reading.
That's why it's for. Oh, that's why it's not coming up because it had a different. Oh, God.
I'll fill some of the silence and talk a little bit. This tonight is on its second reading because it is a Lex. It needs 3 total readings, so we'll be seeing this. We'll have discussion and debate, and then it will be sent to committees and seen next time.
There we go.
Finally passed.
I don't think this is the right version. No, that is the right version. Okay.
All right, Lex 5416, ensuring more students are represented. This Lex will ensure that more students are represented within ASCSU.
Did committees make edits today?
Point of information, this is the one with the language change within the Constitution, correct?
I mean, both change language, but this one changes the rounding for senators. Yeah, so this lowers the threshold. This is the one, the email I sent you.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you put a number sign at the top of the bill?
My turn?
Do we have edits?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Then we can move into 10 minutes of discussion and debate on it. Senator Balbo.
Unless I'm reading the room wrong, I think we all agree this is a pretty good measure of wrapping things up. To quote a very prominent senator, or former senator these days, the vibes are good, so I would agree with this question with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll move into voting on this. Chair Snyder.
Motion to approve this bill with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Okay, for the Senate bylaws, Senator Minolta.
Motion to vote via voice.
Okay. Then all those in favor of passing this legislation?
Clarification, this is voting to go to the third reading.
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Then all those in favor of continuing this legislation, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay. Then the ayes have it, and this will be sent to the Budgetary Affairs Committee. And we'll move into Resolution 54, Route 8.
I think it was before you started naming them like that.
What?
It doesn't have the consolidated committee edits in the name.
Not in this one.
I don't think it was sent out. But it was sent out the previous week and tabled.
And no edits were made.
No.
Okay, let's go back. I'm sure this number is right.
Just so you all know, this computer does not allow me to open any file directly. I have to upload it to the OneDrive and then open it in a browser. If you're wondering why it makes little noises and why it takes so long to do this, it's just that because it has to be done in a roundabout kind of way. So please bear with me.
That is not. Will you look at this and tell me if this looks right?
Chair Letts, can you see if your edit or your committee's edits are reflected?
Give me 30 seconds.
Well,
Can you scroll down? I remember my edits all the way to the bottom. Yeah. My edits were to add a bunch of names to the sent to therefore clause, which is not reflected. Thank you. I apologize. Sorry.
can we table this since it wasn't sent out in the weekly email or last week's
I'll
email?
make a motion to table this piece of legislation.
As the author, we can just pull that off the agenda if you wish.
Okay. Then I do that. Okay.
Jared, tomorrow I'll sit down and figure out where we're at with this.
Cool.
Then we can move into Resolution 54, Row 9, the student protection.
I'm so sorry, really quickly, can I just go back to a point of clarification information? If it's relevant and like important to the Senate, do people want me to motion to have this read in full so that we can pass it? Can I just like get people like raise their hand or something? With this new legislation, for this one that Jared just like twisted.
I will add that my only edits were to the therefore clause, and there's probably about 30, 40 people added. So those were my edits for just information. Maybe 20. A lot of people were added, regardless.
So let's do a temperature check. Thumbs up if you want to see this pass tonight. It's important to you. / we're literally in an emergency session.
And then to the extent as a point of like personal privilege, we can also send this to our news chat in addition to being read in full, and that can help with the accessibility if that's a concern of the space.
Senator Quinnier, do you have something?
Yeah, just a point of clarification. This piece of legislation was not sent down the newsletter today.
Correct.
I'll officially make the motion to have it read in full. Seeing as it was not sent.
I'll resend in the teams and then send it to Mal as well, so it's on top of everyone's inbox. Or
Have you amend your motion to put it back at the bottom? In the list of things we're gonna refer to.
Sure.
Yeah. So we go through everything else that we have left. Take like a 10-minute recess, get to the things that we cover. Yeah, I'm for that. Okay. I'll motion for recess, please. So that's the motion being made.
The point of information that Senator Quinnier made quickly, that was that the entire legislation was not in the weekly email?
Yeah, me and Gio both looked, it's not there. It's not linked at all.
Got it.
Jared, how are you feeling about this?
I have to say, if this session goes beyond 9 o'clock, I will not be here to read this motion, or this piece of legislation.
Thank you.
I'll rescind my motion.
Okay. Then with that motion was sent, we can move into resolution 54 around that.
If there's any time in between any of this, I will double, triple check, but I have it checked off and it did go through the consolidation, so we might not have to go through the process of making all the edits manually. If that makes sense. This one won't open in the browser either. Okay, hold on, everyone.
There we go.
All right, Resolution 5409, the Student Protection Act. This bill aims to call upon the university administration to codify protections for marginalized students in the wake of the election and inauguration of Donald Trump.
Did committees make edits to this legislation?
Sorry. Yeah, I can
forgetting to fix my thought here, sorry. We just added doctor, I think, to someone's title at the end. And also added some endorsements to those. I think those were the university presidents. You know what? It was either we saw it at University of Bears or at GPD that I forgot. Or if it was gaslighting me, we did see them, because that's very much an option as well.
Gaslighting.
I've been gaslit, right on the record.
So reflected?
Oh, look, Fiona, we endorsed it. Someone needs to take the literacy test. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that on the mic, sorry. I said that as a friend and not as a colleague. My bad. Am I getting a strike?
I feel like since you mentioned it, now I have to give you
a the mic, sorry.
Does the author accept these edits?
I do accept these edits.
Thank you. With that, we can begin 10 minutes of discussion. Send them on to you.
As always, vibes are good. May I be added to the endorsement list as well? Because you know me. And seeing as there's no one else on the speakers list, not just this question.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll move into voting on this.
I'll fix it later. I don't have time.
Voting on the final passage of legislation for the bylaws. Thank you, Chairperson.
I motion to approve this piece of legislation with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this is passed by unanimous consent. With that, we can move into Lex 5417. This is also on second reading, by the way.
Oh.
All right, Lex 5417, creation of the at-large representative student council. This Lex creates an at-large student representative council for delegates from dissolved constituencies retaining their titles, serving under ASCSU oversight, and ensuring continued representation.
Did committees make edits to this legislation? No, maybe.
Madeline, were there any edits made?
Yes.
Yes, the changes are reflected in the track changes visible on the screen.
And do the authors accept these edits?
Do we accept more endorsements or no?
Okay.
Oh, I don't think so. With that, we'll begin 10 minutes of discussion and debate. Chairperson.
The vibes are good. Anyone want to speak? Cool. Motion to previous question.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we can move into voting to continue this piece of legislation. I saw Chair Snyder.
Motion to continue this with the motion to approve with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this will continue to the University Affairs Committee. we move into resolution 5410.
Okay, resolution 5410, supporting student coalition letters concerning DEI on campus. The ASCSU Senate shows their support for the student letter of solidarity written by the CSU Student Coalition for Race, Gender, and Ethnic Studies. This letter was composed February 17, 2025, and delivered to the upper administration of Colorado State University. We also show support for the letter written by the People United, published on February 21st, 2025.
And did committees make edits to this?
I'm ready for the first time in this entire meeting. They added endorsements. We added the therefore clause to specify petition that was mentioned. And just like I think we added the letters to the resources section. I endorsed it. Yeah.
Senator Mountain.
Okay, so I was in DEI when this bill got sent there, and I know that for the last therefore clause, we added one and sort of divided it into two separate therefore clauses because it was a bit wordy, just to make it read a little bit better.
Is that what is reflected?
Yes, that is currently what's reflected on the beautiful purple.
Okay, thank you.
Just a quick thing, on that last whereas clause, can we take out the semicolon and comma, so it's just the so comma? And at the top, can you take out the slash?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Hayden. I'm not gonna print it without.
Then with that, we can move into 10 minutes of discussion and debate.
Can you really quick, once you're done with that, can you scroll down to where the links, were removed real quick? Okay. Perfect, I'm good.
Good. And does the author accept all these edits?
I do.
Okay. With that, we'll begin 10 minutes of discussion and debate with Chair Hayes.
I am in full support of this resolution. I think that putting the Senate and just look at the ASCSU component really brings just a whole other layer to the aspect of our support of DEI. And if you really wanted to show students that we do support DEI, this is the perfect way. I personally am in full support, and I urge you all to vote the same way. All motion? Yeah, no, I'll yield.
Thank you. Senator Huerta.
Is it inappropriate for me to say, like, that can I, like, endorse it, or is that something I would do, like, after?
Really quick.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wants to add? Okay, I'll make a sheet. I'll pass it on. Thank you.
Do you have any additional discussion and debate on this? Senator Mountain.
That's good. Motion previous question.
Second.
Does that motion?
Point of information, real quick, to affix the signature of ASCSU to something, does this need to be a bill as well?
Point of clarification, we're not signing anything, it's just saying we're supporting.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a bill.
Thank you.
Then we had a motion to previous question. Does that have any dissent? Seeing none, we can move into voting on this. Senator Mountain.
Motion to approve the unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this is passed by unanimous consent.
Woo.
Senator Little.
Can I motion for 10-minute recess to the parliamentary kid fixing basketball?
We had a motion to have a 10-minute recess. Does that have a second? Does that have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll come back in 10 minutes.
During the recess, I was texted by elections manager who wanted to remind everyone that the vote of confidence is on Wednesday, like this coming Wednesday. So come prepared. He wanted to make sure that that was known, and he will tell you.
Lauren, what is the vote of confidence?
That's a great question. The vote of confidence is when those who are running for Speaker of the Senate present themselves to the Senate, and essentially it's kind of like a pre-ratification. So it's like we will ask them questions of like to just kind of decide whether or not we are confident in their ability to run the Senate before they even start campaigning. So like if we don't think they're confident, then they don't campaign. If that makes sense.
I can contextualize additionally a little bit to that. The position of Speaker of the Senate did not exist until kind of recently. I believe I'm the 8th one we've had. That was made with some legislation. It used to be the Vice President who would lead Senate meetings, but that, along with the duties that they have with like the student fee review board and things like that, people felt that an additional position was needed, so they made a new position. I believe at the time they had a lot of internal debates as to whether that position should be elected by the student body, like the president and the vice president, or whether that position should be elected by the Senate. And so they came up with a compromise to kind of do both and just make sure that the Senate feels comfortable that the candidates know what they will be doing, and then the position is elected by the student body. ASCSU fun facts.
Can I ask for another ASCSU fun fact? When will we get to know the candidates
The candidates will be listed on the ASCSU website. I think they'll have an elections tab on the website that'll have all of the elections things. Those will be listed on the, I think, Friday before spring break. You'll know the candidates for Speaker of the Senate, though, on Wednesday because of the vote of confidence.
Question for anyone who's more knowledgeable on the accessibility requirements than me. If edits were not sent out in the weekly email, they must be read in full, correct?
Yes.
And do they have to be read in full one after the other? Could multiple people read the edits at the same time to make it go faster?
What do you mean?
I'm looking at this list of names and it's gonna take a while for me to read all these.
It defeats the purpose of accessibility to have them all read at the same time. I appreciate the creativity and I imaginary little gold star for innovation, but no.
I could read information.
I could read it too.
Could someone else also read it? Someone who's really bad at reading.
defeat the purpose of it, please.
We have an amazing parliamentarian elected to do those kinds of things if the author does not want to.
I have a couple of questions too. I have where did Charlotte's go?
This is technically still a wow.
Okay. Chair McLaughlin and Charlotte's. Okay, so we have added to the most recent version that I have uploaded to OneDrive, had University Affairs Committee on there, and then this giant edit. Were there additional university and internals where this went? Right? Do we have, I guess I'm asking, do we have more edits than just what you sent me?
This was not sent to budgetary.
Okay.
So DEI is the question. I can find that out.
Hold on, we have the Secretary of DEI check that got sent to DEI.
One clarification, are we in recess right now?
Yeah.
Just a reminder for anyone who doesn't want to watch this process furtively and maybe wants to like stand up, walk around, use the restroom, that you can do that at this time. Just because no one left and that confused my brain.
I'd like to thank Fiona Miller for giving me my first strike of the year. Being part of the reason why. And I also would like to edit my ad hominem attack. I'd like to edit the present language saying a literacy test and change that to an writing exam.
Could I
Um,
suggest everyone who isn't going to help Madeline with edits try to move into the main office just so she can focus?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Point, no. Point of person, Chris. I also am going to write exam, so we can go together. This is a group activity. This is a group sport. I exam. Also, I'm an exam, but I was I'm a senior.
Moron. Never run presidential positions. The rules set up as they are now. As they are now. It makes it get into period. Are a third undergraduate.
Can we get Hayden or Brooke or both of them up here really fast?
Who have access, basic access on content, and the new center are as follows. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors. They can run for Senate. At their colleges. Yeah. So if your freshman wants to join, then they have to either become they have to become associate senator, and that's kind of the point because there's no rules about that. Yeah, but
I answered my own question. I was just trying, I had to go back a few weeks to figure out, to double check that it was sent to DEI. I wouldn't know why it wouldn't, but it was back several weeks.
Okay. Following this meeting, one, I sent you an email with all my contacts from the college councils. Two, I've talked to the chairs. We're going to schedule a meeting to streamline exactly what we're doing for edits so that everyone's on the same page. In line with what you said earlier when we were talking. We'll figure it out.
Still have,
It's just awful. Suing everyone.
hey, the trick is to actually put it on, do this, like as far wide on the thumb as you can, and that will help take off the. Why is my thing yelling at me?
Are you saying like we can hold elections like fall?
No. The big problem.
Semesterly, weekly elections.
The issue is also this. Because with senators, we elected in the fall and then appoint them as they come up.
Yeah, we appoint them in the fall.
Yeah, but the big thing is that not only kind of shuts out incoming freshmen from the process, but it also shuts out any grad students who don't. It also shuts out any grad students that don't immediately go from ASCSU to grad school because
Yeah. Are you saying that maybe the people from the pressure don't know elections
there is not enough to go. I suppose what basically people freshmen. No, I don't even know if it's like I think it's just I don't have to wrong. No, or just the senator election. I think this I don't know. The most people Warner have ever run for election was one candidate. It was me. I won. Not this year, this past year. Yes. And that also applies to the grad students because because anyone who takes a gap year to figure out what they want to do or whatever, and then come back, they're blocked off for the year. They're blocked out for the year as well if their college also has. I think also has like you can basically if the election is for the senators, I just like left the bubble next to my name and submitted it. So I don't think there's like a yes or no. What? Maybe they changed it since they updated it. But I don't think they used it for senators. Okay. I think that's one. That'd be unprecedented. They did that earlier, but it's so much easier. It's really just so much easier to be a
I have to edit it, but yeah.
I wonder how many
I want to come to
wonder how many people are struggling with it. I don't know. I think so. Well, no, it's not outline. Oh.
Well,
I think you can make that argument. Also, I realized something. Classes are only 960. Nowhere else in the country. Constitution Subcommittee, please come. I hear lots of complaints. No. Yeah, they're only in the bylaws. We can get rid of it.
Let's hear it only four things that we actually have to end up. Mine. External university users.
That is true. And you guys not do this.
Yeah, so budgetary Elvis budget and Elvis.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if
What if we made any edits? On there, but I'm pretty sure it also might be one of them or 10. And not 10. 54. Madeline, what's the bill number for this?
For which one?
This one up on screen.
5408.
It's 5408 definitively.
Well, now you're making me question it. Yeah, it's a bill. This is a resolution.
Yeah, because
I'm going to write this legislation changing that, so they're all in order. But I can't do that.
yeah,
Okay, hold on. What am I doing?
because we're making sure I'm trying to remember if DEI saw this or not. Because
Yes, they did, and they endorsed. I think.
I'm not seeing us on the endorsement.
Hold on, Enoch. Can you just let me do it, please?
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it straightened out, and I can't talk about it.
No, I was thinking, like, I was almost done with American Dad. And every episode, like, I was almost done watching all of it. And then they just kept vomiting every episode, just making dog shit jokes. That I decided to go back to Bobby Burgers to restart things. Because I could not handle American Dad. I was watching the Amazing World of Gumball. I really missed Bob Burgers. So I went back to it.
Madeline, really quick, could you pause the confidence timer?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I was bugging.
I also watched every episode. I was very bullish for a show. The Simpsons is funny.
The voices.
Yeah. Homer's the only that's like the emotion. Yeah. I mean, we could have. I don't know, like it's all. What I did was I put every board of governor member, and I even put the people from like this reps from. Actually, I wanted committee didn't care. But I put CSU local reps and CSU like local reps. I also did it all that. Did you love that? Would be fun. Look like well, yeah.
Jared, thank you so much for sending it to me first.
And then I went through, I put in all the, I I don't even remember what.
Guys, I'm passing out that I was making Fiona, guys.
Good.
But I said, I did not know what I said.
It's not a better affection than bullying your
What?
Brown.
Guys,
That-
That's not
brown.
really or is the problem.
That is not brown.
So you're feeling like your relationship with Fiona is a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, like I'm feeling even Fiona. Fiona's even her
I was told that I was just like someone alcoholic father, so I think I'm good.
You know what's
It's not brown.
you're gonna make me confirm it. You know?
I'm not engaging. I'm not engaging.
I'm gonna be like, Jonathan, your dad is not even alcoholic. I said to my knowledge. I said to my knowledge.
No, he's not enough.
I think you gotta be so oriented. It's such a baggage compliment that it can't be characterized. Yeah, I think Constitution Subcommittee should go through and find equal strat on it.
Oh my god.
And then stop identifying myself. For sure.
That sweater looks really good on my
Oh, it's right here. That's how you get that.
And then I start talking about like a completely different perspective.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about accessibility issues. Can we talk about that? That's one that would be like.
And we both been senators. I don't know if you ever went to the Senate. So we only ever had experience in the Senate.
But you don't.
Everything. I've experienced everything. No, that's not true. That's probably ironically not.
I mean, if we're talking about
Anti-grant. I'm not anti-grant.
Everyone's anti-grant there.
the anti.
I was waiting.
I'm just like, I'm
really funny.
Hello, Major. How you doing? Pretty good. You are for the newsletter.
You know what
Oh, yes.
that is now. So wait, it's graduating.
You bring Gap in? I love catching up. I was like, Fiona, get up and you everyone here knows that I said, however, I need you to be back. You know, it's just back.
You know what I love? Relinquish right in your
Keep our I think we should.
I literally talking to hate about it. If I wanted to, I could have been.
Someone remind me for the removing old language and inconsistency. We have some edits from different places here.
I can tell you the edits that budgetary edits.
Oh, you're okay. Yes, reconciling that is made. Yeah, 2 days ago. Got it. My brain's back on track. Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, because they're so my favorite. I should bring them
Actually, I'm gonna Jeremiah director, correct? You get a giant bill.
And I'm gonna make you go down because my brain was going to that exactly.
I feel like I am.
How many people remember it?
It's called
Jared Kate.
to get someone to make the book.
I still have
Put them in like
Sammy
little,
and, like,
put them in a lead.
Graham.
But I have something.
Graham was good. Not only did I take results, I took the job. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, for well. Those experiences of the PDM Swana students. Graham, CRC Senator. Good. I was about to say.
The cause is
No, I have that. So I'm just gonna like stick with this.
Oh my
Hey, Jared, I have a question. Okay, so I have here this first therefore clause
We just
says subsection
Neither are good.
C.
all we did
Then
was
we go to A. Okay, hold on, I just got lost in stuff. And then, okay, cool. Never mind. I think I answered my own question.
yeah, that's all we did was just specify that it's the Constitution.
You're just trying to justify. Well, I believe you being like, I'm off the record, but you
Like,
all of the record whispering behind. Exactly.
I'm real. I don't know.
It was fine anyways. You could have argued that I
I like it. That was a really good one.
And then did you get our sponsorship of it?
I literally, in the time it took to get the next bill up, I could have. It's okay. We're good. I think we're good to go if they want to reconvene. Yeah.
What's the order currently?
Well, we had made that move first, so we should do that first. That's how I wrote it down. And then,
I'm already down here, so I'm gonna motion to do the second. I'm gonna motion to do the Ellie's second.
Yeah.
Already seen.
Yeah. No, he's just supposed to finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wait. Are we talking about your committee's edits or your?
My resolution.
Okay, yeah. No, what do we want to do that right now? Do we want to do it right now?
I'll just make the motion.
Yeah, just make the motion. It'll have unanimous consent, and then we can just do that.
Was it not?
Are we good to come back?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. What are we doing? You're doing yours. Are we doing it not in the order?
So, Jared's gonna make a motion to put 54 right above 5415, and then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
just want to double check because I got lost in thought.
Love your tie, by the way.
Yeah. I have no clue where I got
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back now, finish up these last two pieces of legislation that we had. And we had a motion.
I make a motion to move resolution 5408 to the next item of business.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we'll get to resolution 5408.
All right, since this was not sent out in the weekly email and all that jazz, we're going to be reading this piece of legislation in full. Resolution 5408, resolution in support of immigrant students, ASCSU, the Associated Students of Colorado State University, 20th session of the 54th Senate, February 12, 2025. Resolution 5408, resolution in support of immigrant students. Notice, a signature to sponsor means that you only wish for the legislation to be heard. A signature to endorse means that you support the contents and or the actions of the legislation. Written by Jared McLaughlin, Senator, Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering, collaborated with, sponsored by Fiona Miller, Chair, University Affairs Committee, Senator, Asian Pacific American Cultural Center, Mildred Snyder, Chair, Accessibility Caucus Center, College of Liberal Arts, Felicity Luna, Senator, Disability Center, Lauren Davis, Senator, Survivor Advocacy and Education Center. I'll make the reflection in the final edit that your Chair. Endorsed by Diana Herrera, Senator, Academic Advancement Center, Yoselin Rivera, Senator for El Centro, Otis Tomas Sarat, Senator for College of Liberal Arts, the University Affairs Committee. Abstract, this resolution affirms ASCSU support of immigrant students in the face of growing crackdowns and calls on the CSU administration, Board of Governors in the state of Colorado to fully support the students of Colorado State University. Whereas the current political climate has become incredibly toxic towards immigrants in the United States, and whereas The current presidential administration is in the process of taking widespread, devastating action against immigrants in the United States. And whereas the Associated Students of Colorado State University as an organization has an obligation to fight for and protect our constituents and our principles of equality and inclusivity for all. And whereas Article 1, Section 103 of the ASCSU Constitution defines membership as, quote, each individual taking at least one credit or as a candidate for a doctoral degree at Colorado State University shall be considered a member of ASCSU, provided that all fees have been paid that are required by their level of enrollment. End quote. A description that includes immigrant fee-paying students at CSU, whereas immigrant students represent a vulnerable constituency of ASCSU, and the organization has an obligation to fight on their behalf. Therefore, be it hereby resolved that the Associated Students of Colorado State University shall work to support all students regardless of immigration status, and therefore be it hereby resolved that the CSU administration, the CSU System Board of Governors, and the state of Colorado should not take any action that would assist federal immigration enforcement in targeting students in the state of Colorado and on the campus of Colorado State University, and therefore be it hereby resolved that the CSU administration should work to prevent federal immigration and law enforcement from making arrests on campus and taking other actions that inhibit the ability of students to feel safe and have a productive learning environment. And Terry, if you want to sit, you're more than welcome to sit down. Okay. Therefore, be it hereby resolved that specific examples of opposed action include, but are not limited to, creating or sharing lists of student immigration status with federal immigration enforcement unless required by law, permitting federal immigration enforcement to enter residence halls, classrooms, and other non-public areas, permitting CSU police to collaborate with federal immigration enforcement for non-criminal cases, permitting federal deputization of CSU police for the purpose of immigration enforcement, and therefore be it hereby resolved that the CSU administration should stand up for its students and continue to provide support services for its immigrant students, and therefore be it hereby further resolved that the ASCSU administration should maintain the position and funding of the current immigrant support coordinator in order to better help students at CSU, and therefore be it hereby resolved that a copy of this legislation be forwarded to the CSU Board of Governors. John Fisher, Chair, CSU Assistant Board of Governors. Nathaniel Easley Jr., Vice Chair, CSU Assistant Board of Governors. Kenzo Kawanabe, Treasurer, CSU Assistant Board of Governors. Elizabeth Markey, Secretary, CSU System Board of Governors. Polly Baca, Voting Member, CSU System Board of Governors. Ray Baker, Voting Member, CSU System Board of Governors. Dominic DeSanti, Voting Member, CSU System Board of Governors. Kim Jordan, Voting Member, CSU System Member, Board of Governors. Luis Martin, Voting Member, CSU System Board of Governors. Jennifer Martin, Faculty Representative, CSU System Board of Governors. John Polascoda, Faculty Representative, CSU Pueblo, CSU System Board of Governors. Anthony Pellegrini, Faculty Representative, CSU Global, CSU System Board of Governors. Nicholas DeSalvo, Student Representative, CSU System Board of Governors. Alondra Solis Alaya, Student Representative, CSU Pueblo, CSU System Board of Governors. Nicholas Angiochi, System Representative, CSU Global, CSU System Board of Governors. Amy Parsons, President, Colorado State University. Tony Frank, Chancellor, CSU System. Blanche Hughes, Vice President, Student Affairs. Ben Schrader, ASCSU Advisor. Jason Hewitt, ASCSU Advisor. Elisa Randazzo, ASCSU Administrative Assistant. Joanne Cornell, Director of the Asian Pacific American Cultural Center. Dwayne Ruff, Director, Student Leadership, Involvement, and Community Engagement. Dr. Jennifer Moloch. This information is actually going to get edited because it's not the most current up to date, but we'll continue to read for our guidelines. I just want that to be noted. Dr. Jennifer Moloch, Interim Director of Black African American Cultural Center. Nina Askew, Interim Director of Black African American Cultural Center. Aaron, how do we say Aaron's last name? Escobedo? Garwan? Director, El Centro. Maggie Hendrickson, Director of Pride Resource Center. Tyrone Smith, Director of the Native American Cultural Center. Victoria Benjamin, Director of Survivor Advocacy and Feminist Education Center. Erica LaFair, which is also needs to be updated, I believe. Assistant Director for the Educational Programs of Survivor Advocacy and Feminist Education Center. Justin Dove, Director, Student Disability Center. Passages and enactment of Resolution 50. Okay. Okay, thank you.
We've seen this before, and I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it, so I don't think I really need to go into detail. I would like to make 2 floor edits. The first is to add the Office of Colorado Governor Jared Polis to the forwarding list. And the second will be to edit the second to last therefore clause.
Okay, hold on. I'll edit that.
Okay.
And then what was the other one?
The second to last therefore clause should be edited to state that the CSU administration should work to support immigrant students with mental health services and anything else that will support their success at CSU.
In what? Instead of this?
Here, I'll type it.
Okay. Here. Hold on. Before stop talking for a second. Hold on. I'm so sorry. We have to. Okay, now do it. Sorry, I did not mean to keep.
Oh, it's fine. All right, I'm done.
Chair Christie.
Also, point of clarification, for now and for future, we can just remove Erica off of the forwarding list. She doesn't want to be on it. So Erica LaFleur, just delete.
Then with that, we can begin 10 minutes of discussion, debate, send them around to.
Anyone else on the list?
Just you.
Okay, vibes good. Yeah, motion, previous question.
Does that motion have any dissent? With that, we'll move into voting on this. Chair Schneider.
Motion to approve this with unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this is passed by unanimous consent.
Point of information. Can we have it sent to someone from the Academic Advancement Center? It's in the
Okay.
Could we in variant maybe have a Google Doc so everybody can edit, or we put the forwarding list, and then that way everybody can add who needs to be added as far as like in general. So it's correct.
That's a good idea. You can also put those into like the Senate teams if you want, and we can get that added.
Or
I love getting emails. You could also just email to me too. So there's an additional layer of transparency and all that.
And with that, we'll move into Lex 5415.
All right, Lex 5415, removing old language and an inconsistency with associate senator limitations. This Lex will ensure that more students are represented within ASCSU as well as make some word changes to the Constitution.
And do you accept the edits made? Or did we have to word some of them before?
I am looking at where edits are.
Okay, so the Budgetary Affairs Committee edit is they're adding Budgetary Affairs Committee to the sponsorship list. And, oh, did we mess this up? Hold on.
I'll table it till next week.
I just did this.
It was very minor.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did it. I don't know why it's not
I can just read out what we edited. That will work.
Oh, I see.
I see what happened. It did not reflect the track changes. The changes are that the word that be added at the beginning of the therefore clause, these therefore clauses, just for grammar, and the of the ASCSU Constitution denoting that Article 2, Section 3, subsection C, and Article 2, subsection 4, subsection A, and Article 2, section 204, subsection D, are all of the ASCSU Constitution. I believe.
I think one of the ASCSU Constitution was just
The middle one.
Okay.
Does the author accept these edits?
Yes.
Excellent. With that, we can open up 10 minutes of discussion and debate. Senator Murphy.
Vibes good, motion to discussion.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, we can move into voting. Chairman McLaughlin.
all motion to approve this through unanimous consent.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this list is passed by unanimous consent.
No.
With that, we can move into the ending roll calls.
Wait, hold on. What was the final read?
Yeah, that was 54-15, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the final one. Senator Murphy.
Motion to use for the ending roll call as ending roll call, and that anyone who showed up late hop on.
Does that motion have any dissent? Seeing none, this means the chairman thank you all.
If we really dislike making edits like this on the floor, please see the document I sent out about how to get legislative committee changes smoothly across all the committees. It's on paper and it has visual screenshots. It should be really easy.
Can that document also be sent to the general legislative cabinet purview?
I also just put in the Teams chat that updated Google Doc. It's a Google Doc, so everybody can edit it. If you have any trouble with that, just let me know. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair Fisk. You're the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm already gonna be we just shut all the doors. I don't think we can get all that share out.
I agree.